What's up, guys? It's Kev.
This is Del.
And I am Tibby.
And we are
the Wayang Crew.
Hee Welcome back, everyone, to yet another episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's right. It's, of course, your weekly podcast where we talk about all things movies, especially movies that are playing here in Brunei Darussalam. I'm Kev, your host, as usual, and I'm joined by my co-host. First up, it's Del. What's up, Del?
Hello, I am back. And, well, I found some abandoned puppies. There are 5 of them. If any of our listeners out there want to adopt some puppies, preferably at least 2 at a time, then please write in and then we'll get in touch.
But if you have 2 at a time and you have 5, then you have 2 people who take 2, and then what about the 1?
I did say at least 2.
At least.
Don't just take 1.
So there's like a minimum offtake here.
Yeah, because you don't want to split them up, you know?
All
They'll
right.
be lonely. I don't know. I feel for the dogs, the puppies. I was out jogging and then they followed me up the hill and down the hill and up the hill and down the hill. So I feel kind of attached.
All right. Apart from that, how are you?
Good. Otherwise, so far so good. This has been. I just got back from KL.
Okay.
Where, you know, we tried Tibby, myself, and Zainal. We went to do a couple of shows and.
Oh, this is like comedy shows.
Comedy,
Yep.
Stand up. You couldn't make it. That's why.
Yeah. Someone had to man the fort here at the Wayang Crew headquarters.
Sure. But that was quite an experience. It was brutal to say the least, but it was a good experience overall.
All right. Okay. Will you be going back to KL maybe?
Yeah, I wanna do it again, and I wanna see myself do better. Otherwise, it's quite. I don't want to leave it like the way I left it this week there. So I want to see if I can do better and get a better response.
Yeah, well, that's Del for you. He's not a quitter. All right.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay,
Yeah.
Up next, since TV's not back yet from his foray into Malaysian comedy, we've enlisted the services of Neekay. She's back.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, I'm good.
It's nice to have you back here with the Wayang Crew now. I think the last time you were on, we were still the Movie Maniacs.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That long ago?
Yeah. How are you, Neekay?
I'm great. Weather's really hot, so I like to stay indoor with air condition.
Yeah, it's actually hot here where we're recording. Because we're recording, we have to sort of turn off the air conditioning. But we have fan on. Yeah.
It is not that windy.
It's an obvious hint.
I think she's giving me hints though. She's like,
Yeah.
why is there no aircon? All right. Now, if it's your first time listening in to the show, we are, of course, the Wayang Crew. And this is a movie podcast where we talk about all things movies. And if you'd like to get in touch with us here on the show, you can do so via our Gmail account, which is thewayangcrew@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So do check us out there as well. Now we're going to move on to the first bit of the show, which is our weekly segment, which is the news. And we're going to kick off with DC this week. Del's already primed up for this. Now, Geoff Johns says the DC films are 100% connected. Yeah. So
What? All of it? Like even with the new Scorsese's Joker?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, for the last couple of weeks, we've had news that's been coming out of the DC camp, and it may be speculation, maybe not. They were saying that they were going to do this movie, and then the Batman solo film might not be interconnected, or Aquaman might not be interconnected with everything. But now Geoff Johns has come out and, put to bed all these sort of rumors and said it's all 100% connected.
Right.
So how do you react to this statement?
It's just another day from the DC camp. 1 week is this, 1 week it's that. Next week is not going to be, everything's going to be split up, and then they're going to do Flashpoint. I don't know. This is just another weekend that we're talking about DC news, and it's every weekend it's contradictory to itself. So
Do you think this is like the Warner Brothers Media Machine tactic? As in,
to keep people
to
talking.
keep people talking about it. They just keep saying stuff, regardless of whether it's true or not. Just throw it out there.
Yep.
The name is out there. The DCEU will be talked about. It doesn't matter. any press is good press.
Yeah, especially when Justice League is almost upon us.
Yeah, that's coming out next month. It's hitting Brunei in November
10th, I think.
10th, maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
Neekay, what do you think about this statement that you've got Geoff Johns saying, putting to bed all these rumors and saying, don't worry, the DCU is 100% connected.
I'm not worried.
You're not worried?
I actually don't care what they say. Just give me a good DC movie.
I think your feelings towards this is the feelings of like a lot of people out there. It might not be said very aloud very often, but everyone's thinking it, right?
Yeah, it's like this. Just give me a good DC movie. That's it. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. I'm just waiting for the movie that is good and I'm happy with. That's it.
They haven't had a solid movie except Wonder Woman.
Yep.
So we want to see something to follow that up. And could it be Justice League? Hopefully it is.
Hopefully it is, yeah.
Once we've seen Justice League, then we'll know what's going to happen next.
Well, early screenings of Justice League say that it's epic, so...
Who has been to this screening, I wonder?
Well, people on the in list.
The WB execs.
And their families and their kids.
Yeah.
All right, next bit of news. Now, Justice League already has merchandise out, toys and, T-shirts and, for kids. And they confirmed that Superman is back in Justice League, which is something that we've already known.
What, the toys are confirming that? Haven't we known this for ever since BVS? We already know that Superman's gonna appear in Justice League.
Yeah, but this confirms Superman Black Armour costume.
Yeah, but we've known this already.
But it's news.
They've never, I don't know why that, this weekend, I don't know if you're gonna talk about it, not this weekend, but this past week, right?
Yep.
They've released new character posters.
Yep.
And they released new character prints.
Correct.
The week before. So it's all leading up to this week's New York Comic Con maybe. And all these character posters do not have Superman. I don't know why they are hiding him, because everyone knows that he's gonna be there. So why hide it? Just put him out there. He's not like there's gonna be a M. Night Shyamalan twist in the end of the movie that Superman's gonna be there. Not like we're gonna see Luke at the end of The Force Awakens. It's not like that. Just give it to us.
Well, see the passion coming. I would like to think that they're sort of holding Superman back and trying to keep the element of surprise.
What surprise?
Maybe the surprise is he's not gonna be in the movie.
Yeah, okay. Then that would be fine. If he's not gonna be in the movie, then understandably I'll look back at this episode and say, yes, I was wrong, because all the marketing material are right to not have him in there.
No, he has to be in the movie.
Exactly, he has to be in there.
Maybe he only come in as a dream from Batman.
Batman's gonna have another drem?
Yeah.
He dreamt Flash?
Is this dream or is this Flashpoint? you know what this is like? This is like it's your birthday, and then you go to work, and then you sort of know that something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna pull out a birthday cake and start singing happy birthday, but you just don't know when.
Right.
So Warner Brothers is just holding on to Superman and going like, it's coming.
I don't know, man.
And it's not. I think it's gonna
This
come in a dream, and then it's gonna keep Batman paranoid.
So, all right, we're gonna move it along to the next bit of news. And Ben Affleck has called Batman vs Superman criticism. He has said that the criticism towards the film is fair. I think that's an understatement.
What else is he gonna say?
Yeah, because he says that in an interview, he says that I can understand people saying Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice was too dark, or this was outside the tone of what I'm used to seeing with a Batman story, and I think that's a fair criticism, which is something that we've all talked about, saying that was just too dark. Like it's not. That was just one man's vision, Zack Snyder, and it reflected in everything. Everything looked in that dark, gritty, superimposed kind of look, and I was not a fan of it. Even when Wonder Woman came out, the final battle scene, I was like, that is very Zack Snyder.
Yep. So how long has BVS been out? What year was it?
BVS has been out since March 2016.
2016?
So it's been a year and a half.
Wait, 2016 only? Not 2015?
Yeah, it's 2016.
2016. Last year.
Yeah.
So, okay. Ben Affleck's comment is a year and a half late.
It should have been early.
Everyone has criticized this movie to no end, and only now Ben Affleck said, "Yeah, it's fair."
Yeah.
But this is again not something that surprises us. But for him to say that, I think it's just too late.
Yeah.
And then this is all leading up to Justice League, so he has to kind of manage the past, the disappointment and the dissatisfaction of the fans for BVS, and hoping that everyone will give Justice League a chance.
Yeah, because everything's now ramping up. It seems like all the news is sort of pointing towards Justice League, which is what they should be doing.
Which is why they should give us some Superman images.
Okay.
Henry Cavill did in his Instagram post.
And that's not official. That's his Instagram post.
All right. Speaking of Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck also joked about Henry Cavill's quote unquote porn star mustache on the Superman reshoots. Now, if you don't already know, what has happened is that Justice League was not taken over, but helmed later by Joss Whedon because
reshoots.
Zack Snyder had to step out due to family reasons. And at this point in time, Henry Cavill was already attached to Mission Impossible 6. Now, he plays a character in Mission Impossible 6 where the character has a mustache. Now,
is he a porn star?
No, he's not. But Paramount and Warner Brothers had this agreement where Henry Cavill was not allowed to shave off his mustache for the reshoots. And how they agreed to do it is that Henry Cavill would wear the Superman suit with the mustache, and they would remove the mustache in post-production.
I'm still waiting for the first image to come out.
They should just keep the mustache.
What, Superman?
What, Superman?
Yeah.
Cannot.
Why not?
Superman does not have mustache.
Yes, he does.
No, not the porn star mustache.
Now, well, the reason why it's quote-unquote a porn star mustache is that, this is what Ben Affleck said, is that it was a full-on porn star mustache. He looked like a porn star from the 70s, just with a better body. It's a different twist on Superman. I hope that some images or like a video of
behind the scenes,
like a pre post production video leaks and because it's just this is impossible.
I hope we get it on the Blu-ray.
Did you know that because of this stern deal from Paramount to Warner Brothers, it's been sort of reported that the reshoots have been characterized as extensive and expensive, allegedly costing upwards of $30 million.
Wow.
As opposed to the $6 to $10 million typically budgeted for additional reshoots.
Wow.
And I think, 6 to 10, so that means, 20 to 24 million will be paid to the,
the mustache.
to the graphic artist to remove every hair.
Oh my goodness.
What a time, right?
Yeah. It is an expensive reshoot. And then it will add on to the cost for production for this movie, and then they're gonna have to make more money in the end. So
I hope they do.
I have a sinking feeling that this could be the last Justice League movie with all these actors.
Yeah.
Maybe not all the characters, but all these actors. It might be the last time they're together.
First and last.
Yeah.
All right. More from Ben Affleck. He's a lot in the news this week. I think he's really ramping up the Justice League. Now, he says Justice League's tone will bring humor to the DCEU.
Okay.
Yeah. So he says that Justice League is a big change tonally because you now have the personalities of all these different characters coming together, and it gives you a chance to infuse a lot of humor into the scenes.
It sounds like Joss Whedon.
Yeah,
it does. It really does sound like Joss Whedon.
That's the first thing that comes to my head is Joss Whedon.
The way that you can, because for me, right, BVS, no matter how dark it was, the dark tone was never my issue with that movie. It was the overall story and pacing and plot.
Correct, yeah.
So they want to inject humor, that's fine, but again, going back to, if they want to compare to what failed BVS, it was not the dark tone.
I agree, yeah. It wasn't dark tone. Like that was what they started off with, and if they stuck to it with a good story, we would have very hard time to fault it.
Look at Nolan's Batman.
Yeah, Nolan,
right?
The Nolan
was
was
super dark.
Super dark, but at the same time, it was sort of, practical in a way. Like, this is more realistic. It's not so superhero-ish.
Yeah, and while it was that tone, there was also humor. Not
Yeah.
a lot, but there was. So you can do a balance of both
dark and humor.
And then that's what was missing in BVS.
Yeah. All right, that's the last bit of news from the DC camp this week. Off to Marvel. Not much news from the Marvel camp. Ant-Man and the Wasp set photos show a close-up of Wasp's suit. I think I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it looks good. Ant-Man also has an updated suit for Ant-Man and the Wasp, and
of course they have to sell toys.
they have to sell toys.
Yes.
And at the end of the first Ant-Man movie, we see that Wasp has a suit, which was presented by Michael Douglas to his daughter to say, "Look, this is for you." Now,
She never put it on.
She never put it on, but in the production shoots that we see, it seems like it's a different suit. It's not the same. It's not yellow. It's
plus,
not...
plus she's wearing a long sleeved suit.
Yeah, it's a long
because
sleeve.
in the one that we saw in the first movie, there were no sleeves.
Yeah, that was her mother's suit.
It was the mother's.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I am. I like the first one. It wasn't the best Marvel movie, but I think having what's his name play Ant-Man. What's his name? Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Thank you. That really is something refreshing.
Yeah,
because the way that he's injected into Civil War, I loved it.
I kind of like how he started off as an anti-hero. Actually, he was like a bad guy. He was a thief breaking in, and then Michael Douglas's character, the original Ant-Man, notices his skills and like, you know what, I need a guy like you
who can break into places and have a good sense of humor about it
and fall in love with my daughter. All right, next bit of news. Here's a report. Pirates of the Caribbean director, he's nearing a deal to helm the upcoming Gambit movie. Now we're talking about Gore Verbinsky, who directed the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yep.
The first one, which is, in my mind, a modern classic, it's the one that everyone sort of likes. The second one was a little bit like, and then by the third one, it's like, just finish this trilogy. And now they have a 4th and a 5th one.
Yeah.
But he is in talks with 20th Century Fox to direct the spin-off of the X-Men film Gambit. What do you think about this news?
I'm not going to believe it yet because this project has been in hiatus for so long now.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum has been supposedly the
driving force.
The driving force, which I don't know what's happened. So, but then let's see in the next, 2-3 years, will we get to see Gambit on the big screen? I can't say for sure yet, but they're talking to directors now, so meaning that the studio is green-lighting it again?
Maybe. I mean, they're in talks, so...
Yeah.
And it says here that they're nearing a deal, so they might be close.
I think...
getting back Taylor Hitch to redeem the role.
You wish.
No,
Come on, Ryan Reynolds get his second chance. Taylor Hitch should have his second chance.
Nah.
But then this like Kevin said, the driving force behind this project is Channing Tatum.
Yep, Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum and Hutch Parker are, the producers for this Gambit movie.
Right.
And of course, Channing Tatum is taking full spotlight here to say that I want to be Gambit.
I'm not a fan of Channing Tatum.
All right. Not even after, Magic Mike? Or...
No. It's because of Gambit, that's why.
Okay, going on that news, now we spoke about Gore Verbinsky and how he was the one who kicked off the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Now, Pirates of the Caribbean star, the female lead, wants to return with an all-female ship. Now, we're talking about we're talking about the female star who was in Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Kea Scodelario.
Right.
And she says that, she'd want to come back to the franchise, and it has, she wants a full female ship.
So she has tasted fame and money because she has been quite unknown. And then now that with this movie is a big franchise, she's getting a lot of money and she has a taste of it. And now she wants her own movie.
Well, the thing is, like, she's signed up for 2 movies.
Okay.
All right. So she's contractually obliged, but she would love to do what she said, which is to come back and be part of an all-female ship.
Which she can lead maybe.
I think this franchise should just die.
I agree.
They've done in more damage than they have They should have just left the 3 movies that came out initially, because the 4th one did not do well.
No.
And the story was sort of, losing grip.
Even the 3rd one was quite boring.
The 3rd one...
the 5th one was...
cringe fest.
Yeah, especially with what's her face? What's her face? Keira Knightley coming back in the end without saying anything, just make it a cameo. I don't know lah. This can, like you said lah, this can go to die lah. This franchise.
I'm not interested in it anymore.
Yeah.
If they do come out with a 6th film, I'll watch it, but they
didn't make money. They didn't make enough money.
I don't think it did. But then again, this is Disney, so they don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether the movie makes movie makes money or not.
Yeah.
They're a juggernaut, and it doesn't affect them as much.
Does the 5th one have toys?
Yes, the 5th one did have some toys.
So I'm sure they must have made some money from toys.
They had some Lego sets. They
had Lego
sets.
Yeah, that's right. The big ship.
Yeah.
Yep, they made money.
All right. Paramount has secured rights to the Sonic the Hedgehog film. Did you guys know that this was coming?
Yeah.
In animation?
It's going to be a mixed reality and animation. I
Like
don't know.
Smurfs?
No.
Like Smurfs, yep.
Oh no.
I don't know.
There's no human in the Sonic the Hedgehog.
There is the villain, the one who's in the little ship that Sonic has to take down in
it's
the
like
games.
the Smurf.
The guy.
The villain is also human, but
yeah, I think again this has been talked about in development for many years.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see, because at this point, I'm not gonna say that the movie definitely will happen because of news like this. But once they start filming, then okay, let's talk about it then. But for me, this is I don't know if I'm looking forward to it, because Sonic is something that is from my teenage years, and
like
this is
Sega Mega Drive 2.
Yeah. And I think it's too late. There's no... I don't know if anyone's interested.
It seems to me that Hollywood is not learning its lessons here. You know, they keep trying to do video game movies and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
The only upcoming one which may have some hope is Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Because it looks, good as a trailer.
Yeah.
But we've yet to see that how it looks as a full movie.
Right.
We have to be cautious with that because of Assassin's Creed, which looked okay as a trailer. And when it came out, it was, this is so bad.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what
bad.
happened, man.
Yeah.
They really screwed up there.
And they got good actors for it too.
Yeah.
So
Academy Award nominated stars, and but the way that movie was presented was really bad.
Oh, but I left out this bit of news with regards to Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Now, guess who's actually working on the film? But Tim Miller.
Tim Miller,
Yeah, he's actually working on this.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to them. I don't know how this is going to work as a movie, because it's Sonic, and I don't know, kids today.
That's why.
Do they know Sonic?
And I don't think adults care enough
to watch a Sonic.
Yeah.
Chili dogs.
Chili dogs?
Oh, that's Sonic's favorite food.
Really?
Well, in the cartoon.
I've never seen the cartoon.
All right. Up next. Now you've all watched Lucy, that 2014 film.
Scarlett
Johansson. Now a sequel is in development. Apparently, now Luc Besson looks to be moving forward with a sequel to his 2014 movie Lucy, starring Scarlett Johansson.
I thought that movie bombed.
It did in the US.
Well, it bombed, but apparently the worldwide taking was 463 million at the box office, and that actually was good for a movie, for an original movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're actually working on a sequel. I don't know where they're gonna take this movie, because at the end of the first one, she's effectively the internet.
Yeah.
She became a thumb drive.
Really?
Yeah.
She
became a thumb drive.
With a thumb drive.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot. I am one of those rare people in this whole world that kind of liked the movie for what it was. I could kind of relate to what it was trying to, I could understand what it was trying to present to the audience, but I do not think that it warranted a sequel.
I didn't mind the movie until the part where she started to disintegrate in the plane.
I
You remember
do
that?
not remember that.
Where like her skin and her
yeah, she did. Yeah,
she started to
Yeah.
become like
Yeah.
dust, and I was like, "What is going on? This
Right,
is
right.
not right anymore."
Yeah.
But if it comes out, well, I guess I'll see it because just
You
to
will?
see what will happen.
Okay. I will because I kind of like the first one.
All right.
But then, I would like to have. I would like yourself. I think the ending itself was a little too far fetched.
I don't know. I'll just see the trailer if it excites me.
It probably will because the first one, the first trailer was like, oh look, it looks good.
Yeah, but Luc Besson's last movie,
Valerian and the City of a
yeah,
Thousand Planets
did not do that well
that
too.
did not do very well at all.
Yeah.
Up next, now Optimus Prime is set to appear in the Transformers Bumblebee spin-off film. We have spoken a lot about the Transformers on this podcast and how they seem to not understand what we want to see. And
Yeah.
It's not us, it's the kids. The kids love it.
Really?
Yeah. Little boys, they love it. That's why they're still making it.
Yeah, could be right.
Yeah, I can't argue with you on that point, but at the same time, we had some hope with regards to the Bumblebee spin-off because it's not going to be written, directed, or produced by Michael Bay.
Produced, no?
No, not produced. He's out of the project.
Okay.
He's
What
not
about
even.
the writer,
Yeah, he's-
the one that wrote the second and third.
No, I don't think this is the same writer. This is the one that did Kubo the Two Strings.
Yep, Travis Knight.
Travis
and
Knight.
the script is by Christina Hodson.
Sorry, going back to you saying that Michael Bay has nothing to do with this, I'm going, woohoo!
Yeah, so we had some hope, but then now it seems like they're trying to pull in like the characters that they've established in the first 5 films, meaning Optimus Prime, and if you start to do things like that, you will have to pull in some story elements from those movies.
Maybe not, because this takes place in the past.
Yeah.
So it is not affected by the future yet.
Oh, it's the
Yet?
pre-Shia LaBeouf?
Yes.
It could be, because in the first Transformer film, we see the Transformers come to Earth, all of them. And then in the 5th film, they try and rewrite the whole thing to say that Transformers have been here since the time of Merlin.
Oh, the Knights.
And then you sort of think to yourself, what's going on? But we saw Bumblebee come to Earth and become that old car. But then you're saying that Bumblebee was here since World War II.
Mm.
And he fought along the Allies against the Nazis.
Yeah.
You are contradicting yourself here.
Yes.
Unless he
I
left
forgot about the
and
first.
He
came
flew
back.
back, I think, flew back.
So this movie, this spin-off could be, the missing time in between World War II and
Oh no!
and like
No.
Shia LaBeouf time.
I hope they don't have any connectivity with the other movies. Just make this a standalone
Yeah,
and
they
make it
should.
good.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, moving over to Disney. Now, Maleficent 2 is eyeing the Pirates of the Caribbean 5 director to helm the project.
I dare you to say his name.
Well, his name is Joachim Ronning.
I'm sure that is very close to... No, it's not. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. Maleficent, first one.
I did not think it was a great movie. I
It
thought
was-
it
It ruined the whole character of
correct.
Maleficent.
Yep, you're right. Do you
this is
think?
another time when I go,
Do you think that Maleficent 2 deserves a sequel?
No, it doesn't even deserve the first movie.
Yeah.
You're right.
no good. But then again, it made enough money for Disney to say, let's do a sequel because it made money.
Yeah, and Angelina Jolie has confirmed that she will return as Maleficent last month in September.
I think she needs more money to fund for her next movie.
which is
So that's, I don't know, whatever it may be, because her movies are always indie movies and, she needs money to fund them.
like humanity pieces.
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
movies.
The next one coming out this year is They Kill My Father or something like
Another
that.
Oscar bait
Yes.
film.
It looks that way.
All right. Did you guys watch the Pacific Rim trailer that
Yep.
dropped last week?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
All right. Now, Pacific Rim Uprising, as it's known, has a synopsis online, and it confirms that Rinko Kikuchi's character will return.
No! Really?
Yep,
I
she's
did
back.
not see this news.
No! She's back, and she's going to play
Why?
Mako.
No, she was the worst thing of the first movie, and then she made me hate the movie.
Well, I guess it would kind of make sense for her to come back because John Boyega plays Marshall Pentecost's son, right? In this sequel.
Why does that make sense?
Mako is like
goddaughter
or a foster daughter to Pentecost, to Marshall Pentecost. So this would be sort of like a sister element of John Boyega.
They should have killed her in the first movie. They should have. And then I would much rather have Charlie Hunnam come back.
Yeah.
I would much rather have anyone else from the first movie except her.
Even after Arthur?
Arthur? Yeah. I liked Arthur.
I thought Arthur was not bad.
Okay.
Huh?
Now we talked about the Pacific Rim Uprising trailer. Let's talk about a bit about that. I thought it was okay.
I didn't see her in the trailer.
She was not in the trailer, but the synopsis confirms that she's back.
That's why I thought when I watched the trailer, right, she's not there, and I thought, oh, this trailer looks good.
Now I've just spoiled the trailer for you. The trailer for Pacific Rim Uprising looks more, I don't know, energetic. It looks there's a lot of long shots, so you see the Jaegers from afar.
Yeah.
And
they look good.
They look good.
Even though like the CGI maybe is not finished yet, but still they look good.
They don't look as clunky as they did in the first. Yes. They look very agile.
Yes.
They look very,
especially I think now they only need one person to operate.
No.
They still need
in
two?
the trailer. There's two.
There's
two. But the thing is, I saw a trailer breakdown on YouTube, and they were discussing look, this is what this could mean. And so apparently there is some theory out there that says that they don't have to be in the Jaegers now.
Oh.
So they can sort of control it remotely. Yeah, like a drone. Which kind of defeats the draw of the movie, because I want to see them inside the head.
Yeah.
If it's true.
Because if the Jaeger gets destroyed, there's a chance that they may die as well. So that adds to the risk element of operating a Jaeger.
But it wouldn't make any sense because nowadays, in this time and this age, we do have drones that are remotely operated from halfway around the world, and you don't have to be physically there.
Sure, but then you have to. I think when you are physically there, you are more in control in real time.
Okay, yeah. So there's no lagging depending on the internet connection.
But going back to the trailer,
because 3D is not good. 3G is not going to cut it.
In that year, it might be 10G. But I like this trailer. I think John Boyega looks good. I think he slimmed down also.
He did. He's not as bulk. He's not as bulky. He's sort of slimmed down.
I like how you use the word bulk. And also the rest of the what's Clint Eastwood's son? Scott Eastwood. Yeah, he looks good.
Scott Eastwood.
I think he will have a major role in this as opposed to the other blockbusters that he's been in when he only played a small supporting role. But this one is like the opposite John Boyega. There is also a Chinese actress that I noticed.
Yeah. There was like a quick shot of her.
What's her name? I forgot. But
I don't know her name. Yeah.
I just hope she's better than the other one. The other Asian.
The
Japanese Mako. Something of interest that we saw in the Pacific Rim Uprising trailer. It seemed like the kaijus are back and they can combine to become a bigger, more destructive kaiju.
Category 10 kaiju.
They would have to explain that theory, that concept, because these are like. Take for example, organic. They take for example a cat.
Yeah.
And then you're saying that 5 cats can merge into a big cat. It doesn't make sense.
Become tiger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that there's gonna be a Ghostbusters animated movie from Sony?
No.
You did not know. Okay. Here's some news about it. Now, the Ghostbusters animated movie may be told from the ghost's perspective.
Okay.
Are we gonna feel sorry for the ghosts?
I have no idea, but not much has been revealed about Sony's animated Ghostbusters feature since it was first announced in 2015. Now, this has been in the news, well, not in the news, but it was announced a long time ago.
Right.
It might be going for a different approach than previous franchise installment, namely, audiences may watch the events of the movie unfold from the vantage point of the ghost rather than the human characters.
So starring Slimer?
I don't know, because
The-
there are no details.
Marshmallow Man.
There are no details in this article. There's nothing with regards to the story. It's just that this bit of news came out that it may be told. So it's kind of like they're victimizing the ghosts here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're coming, run, run.
They're gonna zap us with their proton packs. I think they shouldn't do it. I don't think
Throw
they
the
should.
trap. Mommy.
Oh my god.
Run for your lives! Save yourself!
But that being said, I might still watch it. I'm a Ghostbusters fan. It'd be kind of maybe a little bit interesting. But the cool thing about the Ghostbusters was the science, quote unquote, science behind
Right.
the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They had proton packs and they tried to explain it in a scientific way, and it kind of made sense. But to come from a ghost perspective,
Yeah. But at least it's animation.
yeah, at least
So-
animation.
They're gonna do like a backstory how this ghost became a ghost.
Maybe, yeah. Start from there. All right, Fast and Furious. We're gonna have to talk about this bit of news. Fast and Furious 9, the next installment of this franchise, has been bumped back to 2020. No official reason has been given, although Tyrese Gibson has lashed out at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson over the delay. Now, as you know, Tyrese Gibson, he's in the franchise. He's been in there since, I think,
The first one.
The second.
Second?
Yeah.
Not the first one?
No.
Oh,
not the second one.
Second one.
So he's been in the franchise for a long time, and he is very vocal. As we know, we've talked about him with regards to other bit of news on the show, how he puts it out there that he wants to be Green Lantern and this and that. And he posted up an Instagram post, and it just says hashtag F9 April 10, 2020. And he says, congratulations for making the Fast and Furious franchise about you.
Yeah.
So
Because they are actually the reason why the movie is pushed back is to make way for the spin-off that will star the Rock and also Jason Statham.
Yep, Jason Statham is getting a spin-off as well.
I think this kind of thing, it's like I don't know, this big muscular man with pecs and abs are creating drama on the internet space just because of this. He's not happy that the F9 is going to be pushed back by a year.
Yep.
And to make way for The Rock and Jason Statham's own movie.
When he's been in there for a while and he hasn't had his own spin-off. Yeah.
No, he's saying
Wow,
he's claiming that
They will offer, like every one of them got offer for a spin-off and they all turn it down because it's about family.
Okay.
That's what he said.
So that's his own fault then.
Yeah.
And he was saying like The Rock took up the offer because he's not family and like it's supposed to be about family.
Yeah, but Tyrese wasn't given a spin-off option. It was only for Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, I think, yeah.
But I guess
Those two.
Tyrese would have been involved somehow in those spin-offs.
Yeah,
Like he'd be spin a character. Oh well, good luck to them. 2020.
I just think it's funny, a bunch of big muscle guys.
Fighting out on Twitter.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we have this bit of news. We talked about Angelina Jolie a little bit earlier on, and we have been talking about the Universal Dark Universe, which is the sort of reboot of the
I think that's the one I mentioned.
of like the monster franchise. The first of which was The Mummy, and then up next on the slate was supposed to be Bride of Frankenstein. Now that apparently has been postponed.
They pull it out.
No, it's been postponed.
Postponed.
Yeah,
I thought
postponed.
they pull it out.
Now, it actually had a preemptive date of February 1st, 2018. That's to start production. But it has been postponed. And as of now, they have not set a production date for it.
Is it because they don't have the cast?
I think it's along the lines of them, realizing that the Dark Universe is not, it's not something that
Not reaching expectations.
may be viable.
I think
for
they
them.
need to change their writer.
Yeah. The Mummy wasn't good.
Well, it's written by the guy who wrote Transformers 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and also Spider-Man. The guy's name is David
The Amazing
Coep.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Too.
So he's writing this movie, and he says that it takes place in the present day, and apparently executives at Universal aren't quite prepared to film the movie based on his script.
Right.
They should just change another screenwriter.
Yeah. But this Dark Universe is quite iffy at the moment because of how the past 2 movies. Wait, it's only The
2.
Mummy and also
Dracula
the
Untold.
Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula Untold. But apparently Dracula Untold was not...
Because it was so bad, they had to cancel it. So maybe The Mummy is suffering from that as well.
The Mummy to me felt too desperate.
Yeah.
They were trying to get laughs. They were trying to make sense.
They tried to force into a universe.
Yeah, they were trying to force it in. They had, Dr. Jekyll in there. They had this, they had that.
Yep.
It has a lot of potential, but they just...
Yeah. But then maybe that's why that this, what's that? Frankenstein's... The Bride of Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
That's being pushed back.
Pushed back.
They need to... I think maybe they're looking for a new writer. I hope they are looking for a new writer because I want to like this universe.
The Monsterverse?
Because, I'm a big fan of the classic monsters. So I want to like it.
Okay.
Like, I try to like Dracula Untold. Like, I convinced myself to say that it was good.
Okay. We'll have to see what happens with this Dark Universe.
Yeah.
Last bit of news for this week. Keanu Reeves confirms Bill and Ted 3 script.
Oh.
So, excellent!
Really?
Now, apparently the script has been floating around since 2011. And this weekend is the New York Comic Con. And Keanu Reeves was there to debut footage of his upcoming sci-fi thriller Replica. And he said that the script for Bill and Ted 3 is out there. And the film even has a title. So why hasn't it received the green light? While the actor may be to move forward with the project, Hollywood apparently isn't. So I think the uptake from any studio is sort of like, you know what, we're not so sure about a Bill and Ted thing now.
Yeah.
Because you guys go into a phone box and so it might not be as relevant.
Yeah.
It's not... I don't think it's relevant to the younger audience.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Would you like to see the sequel come out though, for the hardcore fans at least?
I'm not a hardcore fan.
Well, neither am I.
But so I can't relate to the hardcore fan. Can't speak for them, but I don't... It's just something that is too old.
Yeah.
Too old. It's even older than Sonic?
Yeah, because the last movie was 1991. So it has been 26 years since the last movie.
Yeah, and it's not Star Wars.
No, it's not. And, it has to be current time because, Keanu Reeves is going to be back in there.
Yeah.
And he's in his 50s now.
And he can't be that dorky guy because dorky people are not funny anymore. They are the cool kids now.
That is true.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. If they do greenlight the project and it does come out, I'd give it a shot. Just to sort of bookend the whole Bill and Ted journey and then say this is the last.
Right.
All right. Now that's the news for this week here on the Wayang Crew. If you'd like to get in touch with us here on the show, you can do so via our Gmail account, which is thewayangcrew@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can find us over there. Check us out. Give us a like or send us a message through there.
Or adopt a puppy.
Adopt a puppy.
Or two.
Yeah.
Or two. Now, we're going to move on to the next bit of the show, which is the review of the movie we watched this week, which is Blade Runner 2049. It's the sequel to the 1982 film Blade Runner. And we're going to have Del give us a very quick
rundown. You know what? If we are going to start off with spoilers, then yes.
This has to be a spoiler. Because
there's no way to have even a short rundown of what's happening without spoiling certain elements of the movie.
But, something to take note is that you do not have to watch the first Blade Runner film to enjoy this sequel, Blade Runner 2049. Although it would help if you did watch it, because you would sort of have a deeper understanding of certain aspects of the film. So
okay. So spoiler. This is going to be a
spoiler-filled review.
Yeah. Okay. So we are following Ryan Gosling's character. He is a replicant who is designed to hunt down other older models of the replicants.
Yep.
And then in his journey of hunting down replicants, he came across something that kind of prompts him into another journey of his own, which is kind of looking for his who he or where he came from, like his past, and then could it be that he was born instead of created? And that kind of leads into going after his supposed father, which is Deckard, played by Harrison Ford from the first movie. And then, kind of going into the direction of just searching for himself and then realizing who he is and then helping or doing the right thing at the end. It's quite a very complex storyline with a few twists and turns. I probably spoiled everything already. But if you watch the first one, I would suggest people to watch the first one first. If you do not like the first one, don't watch this one. Don't even bother.
Because you're not going to like it.
No, yeah. But if you're okay with the first one, then yeah. Because I only watched the first one this year. I've never seen it before this. And because of this movie coming out, so I decided to watch the first one. First time watching it, I thought, I don't know what the hype is about.
Yeah.
I watched it 2 more times. And it was the third time that really made me feel like, oh, this is quite good. I began to appreciate a lot of things about it.
Did you know that Blade Runner has 7 official versions of the movie?
I found out there were 7.
Yeah.
I've seen only 2
Two versions.
Yes.
All right. I watched, I think it was the theatrical cut.
Okay.
And it's the cut where it's not certain that Deckard is a replicant.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does not even mention the fact that he could be a replicant.
So that sort of left it open-ended towards the end.
Right.
And coming back to Blade Runner 2049, I think the main bit of advice I can give the listeners is to say that this movie is good, but it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Because I have friends who have watched it and they did not like it. They said it was slow. I mean, these are people who who have not watched the first Blade Runner, so they weren't really sure what this was about. Going into it. Like what you said, Del, it is advised that you do watch the first one so that you know what to expect.
Yeah, you kind of like let yourself go into that knowledge of how the pacing of this franchise works
and how this world, works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it is almost a 3-hour movie.
Yep.
And half of it is just setting up for the second half, which is so slow that it could put you to sleep if you are not into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Neekay, what do you have to say about this movie very briefly before we dive into spoilers?
Very briefly, I think it's better than the original. I like it a lot more.
In terms of pacing, at least. You do have these like shots where it's like, look at this world, but it's not as long.
It feels very similar to the original Blade Runner. So, like, so you know what to expect. So you don't, like what Del said, you don't feel it's too long or draggy or slow. So you have the expectation. So, because the first time when I watched the original one, I felt it really draggy as well. But then because I'm familiar with it when I watched the sequel, so I already expected it, and overall I think it's a lot better than the original. I really liked it more.
Even knowing the pacing, I mean, watching this one, I was still slightly surprised that it is that slow. It really took its time
for a modern film.
And kind of like it's supposed to be a little bit of action-y, but there wasn't a lot. It was very philosophical.
Almost no action in this.
Yeah, almost no action. It's only the beginning and the end.
Yep.
Yeah. What's his name? Drax.
Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista. Yeah. He's in the beginning.
Yep. I think he looked really good in this one as well. But then there's only so little of him.
Yeah, I think he was on screen for about 5 minutes.
And that's true. Yeah.
And now, maybe to explain a little bit further about this Blade Runner world or this Blade Runner franchise to the listeners, if you haven't watched the first film, it's a world where there are humans and there are replicas. Now, replicas are essentially, androids. Yeah. They're essentially robots built by a certain company.
However, they express emotions.
Yeah, they express emotions.
And they can feel and they can bleed.
They're so advanced, that they are, almost lifelike. Depending on the model, whether it's a Nexus 6 or, or above, they do have different traits, or they do serve a certain purpose. In the first film, it's a group of these replicants who have replicants who have sort of gone rogue.
Yeah.
And it's up to Deckard, which is Harrison Ford's character, to track them down and to sort of put them out of commission, because that's what he's built to do.
And that's why that he is called, or that type of replicant is called the Bladerunner.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
So in this new film, we follow Ryan Gosling, who is also a Blade Runner, although he's a more modern, more advanced Blade Runner. And yeah, it's this journey of Ryan Gosling's character, who we know as KD6-3.7.
3.7
and and then he starts to uncover, he finds a little string of a clue, and he starts pulling on it. He starts pulling, and then it sort of dawns on him that he might be this, how do I say this,
so he's been there's this memory that's been implanted into him.
Because he's a replicant and he's produced, and they're so lifelike that they have memories, quote unquote memories, but he knows that off the bat these memories are implanted in me and they're made up.
Now I forgot why replicants need to have these memories implanted, or certain memories implanted into them. I don't know why that is.
Maybe it's because for them to demonstrate a certain emotion, they need to harken back to something.
Yeah.
It sort of serves like an anchor.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So because of this memory that was implanted in him, and then he found something like, it was a
wooden,
toy
wooden horse
that has the date at the bottom, which is from the past, like from 2021.
6/10/21.
Yeah, 6/10/21.
Yeah.
20 or 21. Well,
yeah.
And then he found, when he went to terminate Dave Bautista's character, he found that date as well, and that kind of jolts his memory, and then that made him go and look for Deckard.
Yep.
So leading him to believe that he could be Deckard's son, right? That's what happened in the middle.
So mind you that we're talking about replicants here, and replicants in this in this universe are made by humans. But in where this story sort of tackles is that Deckard, who is Harrison Ford's character, and another replicant in the first movie, they got together and they have a child, which is impossible in this world. And Ryan Gosling's character thinks that it's him, because of the clues that he finds. Well, here's a huge spoiler. At the end of it, you find out that it's not him, and it's someone else.
That's why a lot of twists and turns in this movie, which I will appreciate, because the first movie kind of prompts us to think whether Deckard is a human or a replicant.
Yep.
This one, we kind of also think that whether Ryan Gosling is a human or a replicant, in the opposite way, where Ryan Gosling starts off as a replicant, and then we kind of want to believe that he's a human, whereas in the first one, Harrison Ford starts off as a human, and
then we find out later on
maybe he's a replicant.
Yeah.
But do you think, at the end of this sequel, it does not confirm that Harrison Ford is a replicant?
No, it does not. So, you mean at the end of this sequel?
This sequel, yeah.
They don't say it.
They don't say it, but
they don't say it.
We don't know if he is or he's not.
I think it's very heavily implied, and the fact that he's sort of ousted and he's on the run from society, because Ryan Gosling's character finds Harrison Ford in this abandoned city where Harrison Ford lives alone.
Yeah, which looks like Vegas.
Look like Vegas, and he has been on the run for the better part of 30 years.
Correct.
And no one's seen him, and he's aged. And I think it's very heavily implied that he is a replicant.
Is he?
Yeah, because the first time he meets Ryan Gosling, he knows that Ryan Gosling is a Blade Runner. He says, "I used to do your job."
Yes.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So I think that sort of implies that he knows that Ryan Gosling is a replicant, and he says that since I used to do your job, I know that I'm a replicant as well. And we're built for this purpose kind of thing.
But isn't it easy to find out whether or not you are a replicant just by cutting into your body? I don't know. But then, whether, okay, so let's say Harrison Ford is a replicant, and then that is why he is a special kind of replicant, because he is able to impregnate another replicant.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Jared Leto's character is looking for him.
Yep.
Maybe
Because that's apparently the bit of backstory about Jared Leto. He is now he's the owner of the biggest company on earth, which is the Tyrell Corporation.
Isn't it Wallace?
Oh, Wallace. No, sorry,
Tyrell
Wallace.
is no longer.
He's head of the Wallace Corporation, who bought over Tyrell Corporation from the first film. Now these two companies make replicants to serve humanity. So that's how he's gotten rich and he's powerful. And he says in the movie that the one thing that he could not perfect was for replicants to reproduce, to conceive. And that's one thing that apparently Tyrell, the Tyrell Corporation could do. So that's why he's so hell-bent on looking for this
Harrison
for this
Ford.
child, quote-unquote child of the replicants.
Yeah.
Because
So
he
that
wants to study them.
Going back to whether or not Harrison Ford is a replicant, I think because in the opening crawl, it says that replicants have enhanced strength.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford is able to fight Gosling.
Yes.
He's able to throw punches that could hurt.
Yep.
Gosling.
And Gosling is a replicant. We see that in the beginning scene where he fights Dave Bautista's character.
So I think there should not be any more doubt that he's a replicant.
Yeah. I think it's generally accepted now that Harrison Ford's character Deckard is a replicant.
But not to the internet, right? Because there are still some doubt there.
It's up for debate. Everything's up for debate on the internet. Okay. I think parting words, I'm going to stick to what I said, that this movie is a good movie, but it's not for everyone. And why I say that is because from the story point of view and also from the technical point of view, meaning sound design and photography, I think it's a beautiful film.
Yep.
It's a beautiful film by Denis Villeneuve, who did Arrival. And if you watched Arrival, it kind of feels the same when you watch it, although the world is different and there are different elements in the Blade Runner world.
And Arrival is a faster film.
Yes, surprisingly, Arrival is a faster film than this.
Yeah.
I mean, your final words about Blade Runner 2049?
I like the twists and turns. I really do. I also, the universe created from the first movie carried into this one. I think Villeneuve really paid tribute and homage to the first movie very, very well. And even kept to the pacing and the style and the tone and that universe, the look, the feel, the colors, and like the neon Japanese influence flavors.
For the ads and...
Yeah. There's still so much to learn. Who replicants are, what they can or cannot do, because you also see there's a group of replicants in this movie that are they want to have an uprising, they want to prove that they belong and they want equal rights. Because
the message there is that by proving that they have the ability now to reproduce themselves, they're no longer slaves.
They don't want to be slaves, basically. They don't want to be hunted down. They want to have to be able to live. And I really like the ending, that ending fight between Gosling and the female character,
the secretary / bodyguard.
Of Jared Leto,
who's really strong, by the way.
because they're replicants. That final fight was something that's special. You don't get to see anything. You only see the water that keeps coming into the car that kind of fell into like an ocean kind of place, which reminded me of Camino from Star Wars Episode 2.
Minus the long neck aliens.
This was a really, really fun ride. Even though the beginning is very slow, the ending kind of picked up and finished with a very satisfying ending.
All right. Neekay, your final thoughts on Blade Runner 2049?
I like I said, I really like it. I like it more than the original. Overall, like, I appreciate the pacing and the feel and everything, because it is the same as the original. I didn't feel like it's a different thing.
Yep.
Like it's like really happened the past and then now from
Like-
the original.
Like the timeline works, right?
Yeah, like you just feel like you're just there when you watch the original. You watch this, is everything is just there, and like there's of course, like when technology improve and everything, the things are more modernized, and you feel it, but you don't feel like it's a totally different world. That's what Dennis did really well.
Yeah.
And that's why the fans are not complaining.
Yeah.
There's always the problem
That's
where
true.
you
Yes.
go too far away and fans get really upset. So I think overall it's the way it handled really, really well. Story-wise, I appreciate this one more than the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the way it ended.
I also like how Villeneuve didn't go overboard with technology because, so many years has passed.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like going into seeing Star Wars Episode 1 where everything is so slick and
Yep.
and shiny.
And then-
this one is still feel
Yeah.
very the spy machine that floats up from his car. It's still, you can tell that it's kind of clunky. It's just not smooth like you see those in like Marvel movies or
Yeah,
Star
that-
Wars.
That's
Yeah,
too smooth.
like
yeah.
too perfect.
Too perfect. Yeah. So I and also with the ending of this one, you can see that there's a third movie coming.
Yeah.
And they
that's,
don't
that's for sure. There's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be a third movie for this. They've set it up in a way where they reunite Harrison Ford's character Deckard
Yep.
with his daughter.
Yeah. And you would have thought that Harrison Ford will die in this movie.
I don't.
I
Because
thought
they were going to pass it on to, to Ryan Gosling,
Yeah.
right?
I
To
Yeah.
carry
thought
on.
so. I thought it's gonna be like a Force Awakens over again.
Yeah, but it wasn't. So that was kind of refreshing. And that ending shot where, this is a spoiler review. Ryan Gosling dies, right, at the staircase.
Yeah.
Or he seemed like he died.
I don't think he dies.
No?
I think he's just sort of, because he's got a deep cut on
Yeah.
his thigh.
But he's a replicant.
He's a replicant.
We don't know how that works,
Yeah.
because it was never really determined. Maybe he's still alive. But I'm saying that this is the second movie that Ryan Gosling has as a ending shot of him that is such a nice, quiet ending to
Yeah.
a movie. The previous one was La La Land, where
Okay,
you see
yeah,
he's
yeah.
just sitting at the piano and then he doesn't really have that much emotion, but it came through from the acting that he's feeling all that emotion in La La Land. This one as well, he's feeling all the emotion that he thought he was the son of Deckard, but he's not.
Yep.
And then he just drifted into whether or not he died. That's up to we'll
It's up
see
for-
in the
it-
next movie lah.
It's up for debate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What's your rating, Del? For
I'll give this 8 toy horse out of 10.
okay, 8. Okay, that's a good rating. Nikkei?
I'll give I give 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, 8.5.
Okay, that's an even better score than Del's. I'm gonna give this one a 7.5. By that, it's still a good movie. The only reason I'm giving it a 7.5 is because of like the length.
Yeah.
Yes, it was almost 3 hours long.
Yep.
I went into the cinema at 7:30 and I got out at past 10.
Yes, I went in at 4 and I was so surprised I came out it was 7.
So the sun had gone down.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't already watched Blade Runner 2049, you should do so. It's now showing in all our local cinemas. And yeah, it's a good movie. But do take note that it's even though it's a good movie, it may not be for everyone. So manage your expectations and know what you're getting yourself into. It is recommended that you do watch the first Blade Runner from 1982. Pick which version because there are 7. I think the most cohesive one would be the theatrical release, because we have some versions of Blade Runner where Harrison Ford narrates, and it just I find that cringy. Yep. So that's the Wayang Crew's review of Blade Runner 2049. Now we're gonna move on to our next bit of the show, which is
Oi, apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat? Hoi, 看什么看？
apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat? 你看什么看？
apa liat-liat? See what see? 笑了。
That's right, it's Apa Liat Liat, and it's essentially what we're watching, other than the film that we've talked about, which is Blade Runner 2049. Del, what have you been watching besides that?
I think it has been because I went over to KL. I don't think I've seen a lot except for one movie which I saw with Neekay. It was Chasing what? What is it called?
Chasing the Dragon.
Chasing the Dragon.
Isn't that the
Donnie
Yen
Yen
and
Andy Lau?
Yeah.
Is it any good?
I was so surprised that it was as good as it was.
Whoa.
It wasn't like really good, but it was good.
Okay.
Because it was a Hong Kong film. It was co-directed by Wong Jing, and his movies lately have been crap. So this one, I was so pleasantly surprised. It felt like it was a kind of epic in the sense that they started off as young men and then finishing off as old men.
Okay.
To see their journey, what they did throughout. It wasn't long enough to be able to tell the stories properly because there are some scenes that are kind of like rushed. But I enjoyed for what it was. It was about triads. It was a little bit about triads, a little bit about politics and the under table kind of stuff going on.
It's a Hong Kong gangster movie set in like the 50s or the 60s.
Yes.
Is it?
What was it? 50s or 60s? I can't remember.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah. It's kind of in that era because that's when I think the cocaine trading happened.
Okay, so it's like a drug trade kind of triad movie.
Kind of like Tom Cruise's American
Made.
That kind of feel.
That's more of a comedy / action.
This one, there were comedy elements in it in the first half, and then it began to become more serious.
Okay.
As it moved into the second half.
All right. Would you recommend it?
All right. Yeah, I would.
That's still showing in local cinemas as well. It is. Yep, so you can check that out if you want to. It's what's it called? Chasing the Dragon. All right. Anything else still?
No, I think.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I am watching Fargo, the season 3. I think season 3 Fargo. It's starring Ewan McGregor, so it's quite good.
Ewan McGregor
is in
Okay, two character, right?
Yeah, twin brothers.
I need to pick that up.
Yeah,
right.
It's a good one to pick up. Especially, it's following that style of the movie as well. Fargo. Yeah. It's always some
dark humor
and very silly characters.
Yeah.
So it's always fun.
Silly but memorable.
Yes.
Neekay, what have you been up letting?
I caught up with Preacher season 2.
Oh, Preacher. How is that? Because I dropped out halfway season 1. I'm like, I can't do this.
Season 1 was really good. I really liked it. It stays really true to the comic characters. So season 2 picked up from where season 1 left.
Yep.
And I'm only at episode 4 right now, and it's still good. It's still like, I want to go watch like what's going to happen. The characters that the main 3 characters that from season 1 they sort of like introduce them and make us understand what the character like and everything. So season 2 is really about what they're going to do, because like we understand the character, their personality, who they are, their past. So season 2 is more about what they are for, which is basically it's like demons and then God. So I'm not gonna, I don't know should I spoil this or not, but
well, maybe not as much, but you can
so it's really good. I do recommend it. But if you've not seen it, please watch season 1 first. Because it explains a lot.
I think it's a must, because season 1 is where you meet most of the characters, and then you understand where this is going. You understand that world.
Yeah, and then like different episode, they give a backstory of each of the character, and then what makes them who they are now.
Yeah, and then you have like Dominic Cooper as the lead, as Preacher, and he has his own internal struggles as well.
Like how he became this, like he was this guy and then he became a preacher, so you have the backstory. And because I watched Preacher first, and Nega Ruth is also in it.
Yep.
And both of them were in World of Warcraft, the king and the queen.
Okay,
So I expect their character to be good in Wolf because their performance are really good in Preacher. So when I saw, I was so disappointed. I'm like, how could it be them?
If I'm not wrong, Preacher is like written by one of the writers is Seth Rogen.
Yes,
Yeah.
he produces it.
He produces
And he directed
Preacher.
quite a number of the episodes as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else besides that?
I recently watched Little Miss Sunshine. I didn't watch when it came out,
Okay.
so I watched it recently and it's good. So
Little Miss Sunshine, isn't that the one where
Abigail Breslin and
the whole
Steve Carell.
the whole family wants
Yes.
to has to go? They're all in the van and they.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really like it. I went in with the title Little Miss Sunshine,
Yeah.
feeling sunshine, and it was quite depressing from the very beginning.
It was.
But it's good.
It's good.
It still holds up. Like even now watching it, even though it released like 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
No, not 10 years.
Maybe,
Was it 10 years?
Maybe. No, it could be 10 years.
Could be 10 years,
Abigail
yeah.
Breslin was so small. Now she's all grown up.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. I have been checking out. Believe it or not, Marvel's Inhumans. Oh my God. This series. I have a lot of questions as to how this got greenlit and how no one stopped it after the first episode.
Wow.
I found myself struggling to finish the first episode because, look, it's a Marvel property, and the backstory for this is that one of the heads of Marvel Comics was never happy about Marvel selling off the X-Men and how 20th Century Fox owns the rights to them, and he set out this grand plan to put out the Inhumans to basically dive bomb the X-Men, to say that, you know what, they're irrelevant. The new thing is Inhumans.
Oh.
And
See, when you start off a project with that kind of intention and energy, it never goes well.
it's not going to end well. And the acting is bad.
Oh.
The set design is bad. The story is bad. The location is bad. How this series put up 2 episodes to play on IMAX and they expected people to pay for it.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
It was filmed in IMAX camera too.
Yeah, it was filmed in IMAX cameras, and the budget limitations, because it's TV, it shows. Like,
Wow.
this should not have been shot that way.
The showrunner needs to be fired.
Yeah, this is bad, and Marvel know that it's bad because they pulled it out of cinemas after the first week. It was supposed to have a 2-week run. They pulled it out, and I'm surprised that it's out on TV now.
They have
'cause
no choice. What are they going to do?
It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing, and I felt bad watching it because we've had a string. We've had ups and downs with Marvel TV properties. You know,
Right.
like we have Luke Cage, we have Iron Fist. You know, some episodes are good, some seasons are not so great.
Even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they didn't start off that good.
Yes,
But they really
picked
improved.
up towards the end.
So you're saying Inhumans is worse than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
It is by far the worst TV I've watched in a long time.
Wow.
It is that bad. And I did listen to, you know, like other reviewers who bashed it. And I thought it can't be that bad. And 10 minutes in watching the first episode, I'm like, that's it. It's bad. It's really bad.
I wonder why they did not just, instead of putting it out on TV, just reshoot the thing. Is it ABC again?
Yes. It's out on
See?
ABC.
You can't give it to ABC anymore.
Yeah. Apart from that, there's this sci-fi series that just launched its first episode. It's called Ghost Wars, and you know the title sort of like, what is Ghost Wars? So I watched it, and it's essentially a story about how this guy who's in his mid-20s and his mom was the local witch gypsy person, fortune teller, and she's gone, and he's been taken care of by the local priest, and he can see entities, and then bad things start happening to that town, and that's where they try and kick off this series.
Is it the boy from Sixth Sense who grew up and became this priest?
No, it's not. I'm gonna give it maybe 2 or 3 more episodes to try and convince me that it's good, but it's on Sci-Fi, and I don't know, Sci-Fi is not the
iffy.
best channel.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I've been watching this week, actually. Apart from that, I rewatched Spider-Man Homecoming because the Blu-ray is out, and it's still as good. as our review back in June. Although I do have to say that for some reason the home release, there are certain shots where Tom Holland as Spider-Man in his suit looks kind of obviously CG and fake. I don't know.
Quality has dropped so soon, so fast.
I don't know, but yeah, that's what I've been watching. So that's it. That's what we've been up letting for the last week on the Wayang Crew. I'd like to thank my guest for this week, Neekay. Thank you for coming and joining us on the show.
Yep, good to be here.
As always, Del, my reliable and trusty co-host, who's back from his foray into comedy, and we'll be expecting Tibby back this week, and he'll be on the next show. I'm not sure what we're discussing next week, though.
I have no idea what's coming out. Hopefully something good. Hopefully something comes out.
Yeah,
this week
we might do a topical.
If nothing interesting comes out, yeah, sure.
All right. This is the Wayang Crew, and if you'd like to get in touch with us here on the show, you can do so via our Gmail account, which is thewayangcrew@gmail.com. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Once again, this is Kev signing off. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.